Good morning. This is Pastor Keith, and I want to welcome my Judson family and friends to another devotion this morning. And I hope you'll like it and share it. Let's share it with as many people in our Judson family as possible. We want everybody to feel connected. Now, this morning, I'm thinking about the fact that for people in the ministry, I'm talking about pastors, associate pastors, deacons, elders, whatever, that this period of time under the coronavirus may seem like it's a real hindrance to ministry. I don't really think it is. And here's my point today. It's only a hindrance if we let it be. Do you remember the four men who brought their paralyzed friend to Jesus? He couldn't walk. He was paralyzed. They brought him on some kind of a gurney to Jesus. But when they got there to the house where Jesus was staying, there was a great crowd of people. The crowd was so big they couldn't get to Jesus. Well, they didn't turn around and go home. They didn't fold up their tent and just say, well, we tried. No, they overcame the hindrance to find a way to get that friend to Jesus. And what did they do? They did something that probably a lot of us would never think to do. They carried that man on top of the house where Jesus was staying, and they began to tear back roofing tiles, tied their friend to a rope, and the four of them carefully lowered their friend down right to where Jesus was sitting. Now, I don't know that I would ever have thought to do that. That is really bizarre and bold. But they loved their friend, and they wanted to get him to Jesus, and they were not going to allow the hindrance of the crowd to keep them from getting their friend to Jesus, to hinder them. So there's the lesson. The obstacle only hinders us if we let it. And I am applying that to ministry in the coronavirus. You know, Judson Baptist Church has a ministry. What is our ministry? We lead people to Jesus and teach them how to follow him. So what we're attempting every week at our church in normal times is to lead people to Jesus. And we're blessed in that we regularly see people come to Christ. Now the coronavirus has come and churches are closed and we're isolated and quarantined and we feel like we're a little hindered. But my friends, we're only hindered if we allow the obstacle to stop us. And so what can we do to still get people to Jesus, even though there seems to be this obstacle? That's what we need to be thinking. And so I want to encourage you to find ways to share the gospel with your family and your friends and your neighbors. And one of the easy things to do is to use our devotions and our Sunday morning service to share that with your family and friends. You know, every one of us that has a smartphone, and we use, let's say, Facebook or Instagram, or we have people on our contact list, every one of us could choose 5 people who don't go to church, maybe 5 people who aren't Christians, and we could share the Sunday morning sermon with them. We could send it to them through whatever platform we use. You know, the other day I chose 5 people that I haven't seen in a long time, and I just sent the Sunday morning service to them, hoping that it would be a blessing to them. You know, I heard back from all 5. I want to encourage you, don't let the coronavirus hinder you from having a ministry. It doesn't have to do that. Those 4 men, you know, there was a great crowd, a great multitude, a little bitty house, a lot between them and getting that man to Jesus. But they said, no, we're not going to let this hinder us. And they climbed up on top of that house. They tore back those tiles and they tied that man to a rope and very carefully lowered the dead weight of that man down in the presence of Jesus. And that man's life was changed forevermore. Don't let it hinder you. You know, I heard a great man say one time that you can judge a man's character by what it takes to stop him. Boy, could that be applied to those 4 men who loved their friend? Do you have a friend, a family member, a spouse, a son, a daughter that you love very much and you want them to come to Jesus, or maybe they're away from God? This is a good time. People almost expect it to share our faith with them. So practically, here's one thing Judson family can do. Let's like and share the Sunday morning service, and let's especially share it with 5 or 6 or 10 or even all of the people on your contact list. We could expand our influence and get the gospel out there to our sphere of friends. Now, you know, I think on my Facebook page I have 2,500 friends, something like that. That's not that many in the grand scheme of things, but imagine a couple of hundred people looking at their contact list saying, how could we use the Sunday morning message, and especially this coming Sunday, how could we use Easter to share with the people on our contact list? I hope you'll consider that and encourage it, and don't let the coronavirus hinder you or hinder us from having a ministry. Amen. God bless you. Have a great day.